Good evening, and here is another short sort of information type video from Aqua Spumante. This is mainly of interest to those who are real aficionados of sparklets, so do Syphons from the sort of Art Deco period. What you've got here in front of us in the middle, this is a Sparklets UK streamline model from probably around about the late 50s, which came to us in a general batch of Syphons to see if we could recondition it. And what we found was that when it was tested, it developed a leak from around the neck, where the brass neck piece was soldered onto the brass body. So we thought, well, rather than just check this out, we'd have a look inside and see how it's actually made. The reason for this is in the UK version of this, the neck sleeve, which is inside here, is not detachable, it's permanently installed. And we were just wondering whether this was why and how this was done. So what we've done is we've actually sectioned this, i.e. cut it in two. So for those of you who are interested in what's actually inside the soda siphon body and how they were made, this video is for you. For other people it's just of general interest in manufacturing techniques used in the 50s. So here we are. So what we did is, as you can see here, is we cut it in two. So it's been cut fully into two parts. So what we'll do is we'll look at this part first, and I'll just zoom in. See. So what we've got here, this region is the neck. That's a piece of brass and it's machined on the outside with coarse thread, and at the top of the inside there's a fine thread, and that's where the actual neck sleeve screws into, and we'll be seeing that next. What the fault is there. You can just about see it, where the brass body comes up against the brass of the neck piece. It's soldered in place, and it looks as though when they soldered it, the wetting of the solder to the brass wasn't very good. So that's why it failed our tests. Inside, just out of your interest, there's a black coating, and the base plate is made out of copper, and again that's been soldered in probably before the paint has been applied. So that copper piece, dished copper piece, is designed to take the pressure, goes down the sides, and you can just about see the traces of some solder here. So it was probably soldered, and then this was folded over to hold it in place, so if it ever came loose it couldn't be pushed out. Right, so we'll have a look at the other side now. So I think you can see here what we've got. This is the neck sleeve. In the later models this is made out of plastic polythene, and it's just a friction fit in the neck. In these early ones it's actually made out of what appears to be die-cast zinc, and it's screwed in place, and it's also glued, so presumably they put some glue in, screwed it down, and it maybe epoxy or something like that held it in place in the neck, and it's not possible to actually take them out. This is the UK versions, it's not possible to take them out. For the US versions, certainly the early ones, it appears that there was some, the sleeve, which you can see here is just plain tube actually had some key pieces in it, and you could actually unscrew it, and there's a rubber seal, I think, rubber washer or something like that in the US versions. So what this sleeve looks like is that. Zinc, probably, zinc alloy, possibly Mazak, screwed into place. Very occasionally, due to some possible manufacturing defect, I've seen this on a few others, the zinc sleeve gets perforations in it, gets corroded through, and that allows the water to rise too high in the body, because that's the purpose of this thing. It's when you fill it up, so you fill it up with water, and the water gets to the bottom of the next sleeve, it stops it rising any further within the body, and it overflows out of the top down the sides, so that you maintain an airspace here, and that's for the carbon dioxide to gather, so that you don't over pressurize this body, because the operating pressure is about 60 pounds per square inch, 4 atmospheres. So that's really it. As far as I understand, the body is exactly the same on chromed versions. It's just those are chrome plated, and these were, at the time, probably it looked quite swish. This is a sort of hammerite paint coating, and this is original. I see lots like it. You can see one here, identical, virtually identical. So they either had a red stripe or a black stripe, or I believe also a green stripe. So that's it. So if you've ever wondered what was actually how they actually made these, brass, copper base with a sleeve that's actually glued in, screwed and glued. Screws into the top and it's glued in place, and that's a safety feature. So for those of you who are curious about it, there it is. That's what it is. So thanks very much for watching this video, and I hope you found it interesting. See you soon.